they play a little bit bigger. How does that kind of affect the way you guys kind of match up?
Really just the quality of, players. I think, with Joey Brunk, how big and physical he is. It's important not to let him, bury you deep, or, he can drive the basketball too. There'll be some games where he doesn't. He still has that ability to drive the ball. But then just trying to keep him off the glass. I think that's him and Deron Davis, just, they have ultimate size, just, trying to keep him off the glass. Justin Smith has had good games against us before, and he'll play the 3 and the 4. They go a little bit smaller, they'll put him at the 4, and then Trace Jackson Davis. Obviously, he's had a really good year. His athleticism and his ability to get back to his right shoulder is pretty good as a kind of a natural lefty, but he can drive the ball too. So you got to be ready when he has the basketball, because he actually can look like he's dribbling and not getting a whole lot done. Then he'll spin on you and he'll take up a lot of ground and get to the rim and make plays. So you got to keep all those guys off the glass, and you got to try to prevent them from getting angles. But they have a good front line. They have a deep front line, and so I think that's the thing that probably concerns you, especially when you're playing at their place. It's just just bringing so many different bodies in there, to attack you and be physical and, and get on the glass.
How important has it been just to see Jihad, Evan, and even Aaron this last week start to get the rhythm, start to see some shots go down?
Yeah, we've had a lot of games now, and so after you've played games and been through some things, and Evan's really given us a great lift. He was the one guy that didn't get as much of an opportunity earlier. Those other guys got more of an opportunity, and I think that's definitely a positive anytime you have a player that kind of waits his turn, so to speak. Even though he still played, he didn't get the opportunity other guys got in the games, but he was ready for it. I think that happens with a lot of younger guys. Then when they do get that opportunity, they're so mad and frustrated they don't play well. And he's been through a lot of things, and he was really ready. And I thought the Michigan State game, the Wisconsin game, now obviously the Iowa game, for him, he did some good things, at Northwestern. So he's put together here about 3 good weeks, but to his defense, it's really hard to be consistent when you get inconsistent minutes, and he wasn't playing as much as those other guys were. So he's really, given us that boost. And then Jihad's ability to score at Rutgers kept us in the game, made a big shot at the end of Northwestern, and then was obviously 6 for 6. And, him being able to give us that boost scoring-wise, home or away, is really helpful.
How much closer are you to that consistency that you crave from this team?
Well, I think it's that consistent effort and it's the consistent execution combined. We have played well in spurts on the road, but we seem to play a whole lot better when we're down. You get yourself in a hole, and now it's your fight to get back. But just trying to have that from the start, and to have that consistent effort. But then also the execution. If you go look at our numbers shooting, I think that jumps out for on the road. But I think you got to dig a little deeper there and say, well, why are you shooting, less on the road than you are at home? I think a lot of people are. But for us, it's so drastic. I think it comes down to the execution, because you're not going to have a great assist turnover ratio unless the ball goes in. Just obviously speaking. And but there's some more things to that, like the details of what we do, whether it's angles on screen or screening a body or cutting off somebody's shoulder or throwing the ball to your target hand when somebody's posting up. A lot of little things go into execution, and so I think we've been much better at doing that when we feel better about ourselves and stuff. Other night as things went on, we just kept showing them clips of it and said, hey, look, you're doing these little things that are leading to positive plays and really putting Iowa in a bind. And now you continue to do those things. So when you struggle, you got to continue to do those things even though the ball's not going in for you. Don't get away from those things. That's what's going to lead to efficient offense. So I think that's, kind of our surge is trying to get that efficiency offensively, but also have a big-time effort. And then obviously, if you can do that over a 2 to 3 week period, especially this 2 to 3 week period coming up, now that consistent play is really going to help us get into the tournament.
Are they sticking to those little things a little bit more on the road?
They did it better against Northwestern. We've done it better when we've gotten down, when we kind of get to halftime or we regroup, but then we don't have it like to start like a game. Like we'll have somebody like take just a horrendous shot or somebody not concentrate on something, and now you get into that hole. And the problem is like, you're playing good teams. So like now they take advantage of it just like we took advantage of it the other night. So it's not like you're playing people, of less talent. You're playing people that, are of equal talent and they're at their, home facility. So when things start to go against you, it really kind of, for us, it's really hurt us and dug us into a hole.
Can you get into the importance of this matchup beyond just the rivalry and, boosting yourself with a second consecutive road win in the conference here?
Yeah, we need to win. We won 2 straight and they've lost 3 straight, but it's your schedule. It's your schedule. They had a game that they, went back that they played against Maryland, and, they were in position to win it and they didn't, and that hurts. But then now they got to go on the road, back-to-back road games and be able to play against 2 teams that'll, probably be in the NCAA tournament. And the team that beat them will be in the NCAA tournament. And so we're both trying to get to that spot, and we both really need to win. So that's more important, in my opinion, than anything else.
I think of your last 8 regular season games, as of right now, 6 of them would be quad ones, and then the Big Ten tournament, like the whole Big Ten's in like the top 50.
Right.
Do you talk to your team about opportunity at this point, or
Yes.
do you stay away from the NCAA tournament?
No, we talk about it the whole season. We talk about what it means when we play Texas and what it means when we play Marquette, and how those are important. It gets lost early in the year. People think more of themselves earlier in the year than they do later in the year. By this point, you're on board with us or you're not.
Right.
And so like having everybody on board and fighting and doing little things to try to help us win, that's so important. Sometimes when you're a freshman or you're just starting playing and it's your second year, you don't quite understand in November how this can really help you, come selection time in March. So we're constantly talking about this, and we've talked about this all season. We just said, hey, like everybody we play, can help us. Whether that's winning a road game or playing someone that's going to the NCAA tournament or trying to compete against somebody else for, because you're competing against a lot of people for, final spots if that's where you are at the end of the year,
right.
Not just people in your conference.